What's going on, everybody? It's Great Scots here. I'm going to try my first recorded historical battle. I've tried a few of these in the past, and the AI is pretty impressive on the battlefield. And I think you'll get a better sense of what's possible in this game. I've done, let's see, most of these. I've done both Manassas and Antietam, Chancellorsville, Wilderness. I think I did Perryville for a little bit. That's fun. If you like a challenge, do that as CSA. I'm going to do Chancellorsville as CSA because it is a challenge. I mean, we're basically outnumbered 2-1 or something close to it. It's a pretty heavily wooded map, but there is some areas that are open, but it's not nearly as open as, say, Gettysburg. But it doesn't. I don't know. It's this one in the Wilderness, the numbers are approximately the same. This one just felt a little more lively, and so we'll see how it goes. Remember, I'm not able to do the 10th episode of the previous campaign. There's a bug in one of the saves. There might be a way to fix it. I'm not sure, and so I'm not going to try it if I'm not sure. And I may be able to get that working. If I do, I'll repost those. But I do want to give you guys, if you haven't seen them or if you just want to see more of those battles, this is what I'm going to do for at least a couple episodes, I hope. Alright, so we have our forces here on the right. They're pretty paltry at first. I don't know if the whole Union force is here yet. Well, 92,000 against 8,000. So we're only outnumbered, what is that, about 12 to 1, 11 to 1 maybe. Alright, anyways, we are going to take this force and we're going to move them forward a bit, but not too far. Reinforcements are going to come from this area right here, but we are going to get pressed like you wouldn't believe from the area around the Wilderness Church through Chancellorsville, through these three buildings here. It's going to be rough. My idea is going to be I'm going to get Hardaway's battery lined up in the center. I'm going to send some infantry to the south and to the north, some skirmishers around the flanks, and I'm going to see if I can detach one, because I know that there are Union forces that typically come up this way. I have the Union set to dynamic, so nothing is certain, but in the end they got to get me and they got to get these victory points, and so I think that those are the areas where we could expect some trouble. So I'm going to go ahead and get that set up. Once that's set up, we'll get started with the hostility. Alright, so we have our marching orders, and we are into it. We have this one force up here that's guarding this kind of crossroad. I really don't want them getting too far south of that. The main force is probably gonna come through this road. You can see a bunch up here already. This down here is a pretty significant minor force, if that makes any sense, and I'm sure it doesn't. That's fine, but that is what they are. I mean, they're significant enough that my forces as they currently stand are not in a great position. We still don't have reinforcements, but we are getting into position. And again, up here with these skirmishers, the name of the game is delaying action, get their artillery to limber, rather than march straight on. Do the same with their infantry as well. Wilcox has a decent position here in the woods. Might even be better to put them over here, but they are where they are. I will micromanage. I'm not even going to presume that I won't, but if I can limit it, that's probably best. Alright, this is not going terrible yet, but then again we've barely started, and looks like one of their artillery pieces is going to start to open up on us. I don't really feel like sticking around that long. I mean, we're gonna we should beat them to the race to get here, and to line up behind this water, I don't know, this stream, creek, whatever it is, and to kind of force them through that gap. Stay on them, boys. Okay, if these guys are going to run around, I think I am going to chase them. And I think what I'm going to do with Mahoney is actually just put him over there. Perry needs to hang out a little longer. Doesn't need to worry about killing anybody. Should worry about preserving numbers, though. Yeah, skirmishers, for whatever reason, don't have good matchups against artillery. I'm always a little surprised at that, particularly for skirmishers in woods. But I guess at that close a range, we're probably inside their canister range, and so even laying down, it might be a tall order. I doubt we're gonna hit too many of them at all. 10 casualties is alright, but 24 from the skirmishers is not really what I want to have. I wanted to keep those skirmishers around so that they could pick on those infantry units as they come down the road. As the infantry starts to form up here along the river on this side, I'm going to send some of them over so that we can get early shots on the infantry as it advances. I really don't think... Well, we'll see. It's going to be a challenge with the numbers they bring, but I think sometimes when we get charged, they kind of give the benefit of the doubt to the receivers of the charge. Recipients of the charge. Alright, Wright still hasn't seen anything up here in the north. We don't have our reinforcements yet. If I can get Snipe and Ross to withdraw, I'd like to turn these skirmishers... Jeez. Alright. They've paid the toll. They can fall back. Wait for some better shots. What are we doing, man? Perry, you don't want to stay there. Ah, we have reinforcements arrive. Alright, so they're going to come in. They're approximately the size of the force that I have here. It's going to be an artillery battalion, and I think it's 4 or 5 infantry brigades. Those are very welcome. I think since we've beat that attack off, we're going to move people over. You've really got to move, Perry. I don't know what you're doing. Alright, it looks like most of them have arrived, so I'm probably going to undertake... What are you doing, Wilcox? Holy moly, dude. There you go. Okay, I guess you're not going to do that either. But once they all load in onto the map, it should be right about now, I'm going to go ahead and move them up. We don't need them over there. We need them here. And this is not optimal, but I'll worry about the micromanaging as they get closer. Alright, so now the challenge for Wright is starting. So I'm going to detach skirmishers from the reinforcements, and then we'll continue with this. Alright, so they have their orders. They're going to come up and join the fray here. Detached skirmishers, sent them in a variety of directions. We'll see what comes of those efforts. And yeah, we'll just see how things go. I think from past experience on this map, I need to have some infantry forward deployed, either to kind of pull them apart and chase, or to put flanking enfilade fire on the units as they approach. Worst comes to worst, they might be able to countercharge and intercept. Let's just make sure we're in the road if we're going to do that. Alright. Yeah, I'm starting to pull my forces apart a little bit. trying to get in position to do something about this massive blue blob heading towards us. Alright, Posey's detachment. I think almost mindlessly I just give skirmishers the sharpshooter benefit. I think I've covered this in some of the videos, but I'm not really sure if there are other super benefits that they need. Yeah, Perry's guys, glad they're determined, even though they've lost about a third of their men. I do like how the skirmishers will withdraw, kind of fire as they withdraw when they're being pressed by a full brigade like that. We have 600 men in these two skirmishing units. They've put about 450 casualties onto a unit that looks like it started out with about 1,800. That's very good for them. I like these guys to just block that road. That's Wilcox's group, and that should hopefully help the artillery from being overrun. I don't really want both of these units running away. I want them kind of at 90-degree angles to one another, so that if, what is this, 2nd Brigade presses in one direction, they can fire down the flanks and they won't get pressed back in response. Maybe they can't right now because they're being pressed, and so their priority is to just run away. Or maybe not run away, but you know what I mean. To fall back. Holmes group. Yeah, this is a little concerning up here. These groups moving through. It's going to be a little tough to stop. I guess we can put some skirmishers their way. Whoa, what's going on here? They broke? Well, wasn't expecting that from a skirmishing group, but they broke, as you can all see. I don't know if recalling them is going to have any effect. I don't think it will. I think at this point they're broken and they can't be recalled, but we'll see if we can get it. I really would like to fire down their flank, because these guys just are not going to... They're not going to take orders while they're being pressed. Not too sure what he's doing. Okay, so they broke Ross on the bottom, and now they need to turn to Knipe? Don't know. But that alleviates some of the immediate pressure. I think we're going to turn Sems over there just to try to either pull them away, pull them up here and away from the main thrust. They can chase skirmishers through the woods. That's a trait I'm very happy with. Some of the other ones, fast movement definitely helps. Expert skirmishers, I don't know what the benefit is there. I don't know if it makes them harder to shoot, in which case I actually really like that. Deadly volley, skirmishers don't seem too much to volley. This is okay, except usually moving them. You know, why don't we see? We'll try expert skirmishers with this. If we get other options, we'll take them. I liked one of the other ones I saw there. Wilcox, what are you doing? There you go, man. They seem to be falling back, so then if that's the case, we'll send Perry over to meet them there. I like where Mahoney is at the moment. I like these guys actually in the woods, shooting out. And reinforcements be on their way. Can't argue with that. Plan here is going to be to send Kershaw and Barksdale skirmishers to to the south and try to hold up or pull this force apart. Perry, you better move. For skirmishers, you guys dawdle way more than I think some of these line brigades do. Okay, there was one. Oops. I want to get... These are the ones I looked at. I think I liked Zouaves. You know, to make skirmishers even faster. Let's see if it matters. It may not. Oh my goodness, Perry, you're gonna get a... You haven't taken any new casualties, but you're gonna get obliterated if you don't move. Mahoney's boys are in a good position for the time being. Okay, you're facing the wrong way. Some more guys into the woods. That should be the artillery reserve. It's showing up now. Move Kershaw over there. Barksdale, I'm really not sure what to do with. I'm not sure if we need him on the north or the south or the center. So maybe I'll just move them next to Wilcox. Oh, they set up, they're already in the woods. That's an idea. And we'll move back a bit. Hopefully we stay out of canister range. Alright. This reserve artillery needs to be moved. Right here will do for, I guess that's Huger. What's the other one? Washington's battalion. Okay, Washington's battalion. You can set up over here for now and just fire straight on. Tony's getting pushed. Tony should probably just fall back at this point. It's not skirmishers' jobs to do the fighting of the line infantry. It looks like Knipe, following some pretty heavy casualties, is withdrawing, which now means the skirmishers can start getting us around in some of that concave fire on the southern part of this force. That is a ton of artillery in the middle, and I don't really want to get close to that. Yeah, this is probably not the wisest move, sending McGregor into 4 brigades. I know it's not great having Mahoney's guys out in the field, so I'll move them back. And absolutely no cover that close to enemy artillery. They were out there before to slow down infantry. I know I'm indecisive with SEMS, but that's just the way it is. Now Watson, darn it Watson, get up here so you can give your guys commands. It's a little frustrating when the commanders are not close enough because of the order delays, and we got enough other stuff going on. Alright, I think rather than trying to meet them where their forces are in the north with the skirmishers, I'm just going to send them south and try to harass and maybe force them to reposition. Or it's fine, Mahoney. I still find it hard to believe that McGregor's guys are having a good time. Lost about 20%. Maybe those aren't all optimal, but that's just the way it is now. Quick check-in at the HQ to see how things look overall. Still severely outnumbered because the reinforcements have not arrived. Having said that, if you look at the total, just the casualty count, you know, it's 6-1. Granted, a lot of that has been my skirmishers shooting them as they advance, and so those are probably, you know, skirmishers in woods shooting packed troops on roads. It's not really surprising, though I think it's gone even a little bit better than I expected, or could have reasonably hoped it would have. But they're just moving up a ton of artillery, and so while I might be able to get my way with some of their infantry, I'm not even going to really try to challenge the artillery if I can just run away from them. Anything interesting come through? Yeah, I think a lot of people are in contact. Okay, we want to get Posey up. Firing on those flanks. Barksdale, you got to move up a bit to matter. But yeah, fire on that infantry, because that's going to be what breaks us. The arty will give us casualties we don't want to take, but I just want to move them up there for now. It looks like the Hoogers battalion is now up and running. Washington's is getting set up, so that should be, what, 34 guns to add. I don't love where I put these guys. It was a mistake, and I kind of just let it go. I'd like to have them in an open field. Granted, this may not be the time to do this, but I think putting yourself in a tree line is pretty stupid. So. But that was my fault. I was unable to detach them earlier, and I just said go forward and shoot. Is that McGregor still out there? Yeah. Oh, no, it's not. Now it's Barnes's, which is larger, of course. These guys are gonna have to shut down. Harry's detachment. Wilcox's brigade. Send them up there. But this is the big push. There is a reference there. It's not a bad reference or anything like that, but the reference to the big push to Damascus. Lawrence claimed he wanted no part of that big push. I was gonna say good for them, because they should be fine. Oh, they're already set up. That was incredible efficiency. Can we slide under here? I think you know this if you've watched and listened to me on some of the tactical battles. I find that under fire it's difficult. I'm still gonna give them sharpshooters to get infantry and artillery. Those are really the only two that I use. I want Jackson's guys to have a deadly volley. Presumably they should have no problem with burnout, right? We'll still see how some of these other perks work out. Uzi's brigade. I don't know why the Union marched right up to me in their flank. That don't make... I'd say it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it doesn't really make any sense. At all. No reinforcements. Yeah, the good news is they're out hunting victory points, it looks like. And somehow, even with no casualties, they've managed to move up. I'll give them ace of spades. I mean, they're there. Oops. So maybe they'll dig in, but I assume that maybe ace of spades makes a lot of sense for skirmishers. They're going to constantly send them around. But these guys, yeah, if we're down to stable, it's not long before they're breaking, so I want them maybe even further out of that mess. I'd say so far my plan to try to pull them off of their attack has failed miserably. They're not chasing the skirmishers in the woods to their flank. They are just pushing. I mean, that is a sea of blue right there. They're just pushing through this center. So that's a Division HQ. That's Division HQ. What is back here? Oh, that's the line to Lee. They're going towards it and then they decided not to? What are they, listening into this? It's recorded. I don't know how that would work, but... Uh-oh. Yeah, I tried to move Perry's brigade, and they were registered as stable. Now not so much. I think Posey's going to meet the same fate here in a second. And so... the new solution for skirmishers is going to be to stop trying to pull the infantry away. They're too good for that. Saw right through my not-so-clever plans. And instead just go back and shoot at them. How we doing? Yeah, they've... I mean, it's no longer 6-1, it's about 5-1 in our favor. Still outnumbered, waiting for reinforcements, but I think a number of other things are probably going well. You need to face them, buddy. Okay, they no longer have targets. See, the problem there is that we're now getting artillery right in the face. So I'm gonna pull my infantry back. Hopefully they listen to me. And pull them back and get them into cover if we can. Don't need Kershaw over there. I need those skirmishers down there. Let's see if making them fast gets them to do what I want, but my usual luck with skirmishers is that they kind of get in touch with something and then they just start shooting at it. I guess Posey didn't break before. I don't know what Mahoney skirmishers are doing. Oh my goodness, guys, pull back. There you go, you know where you're going. You've given up. Clearly. Don't give up. Go back. You too. I don't care if you have targets. I need you to survive. I do not like those orders. Move back now. So either move back or move forward. But standing there is the worst. Compromise is great, but sometimes a clear decision is actually best. Alright, we have a number of announcements. It's probably, oh, bad news, but Jackson arrives is good news. Very good news. You go away now. For some reason Barksdale believes, or Mahoney believed that they were no longer, I thought they were being recalled as skirmishers, perhaps not. Yeah, Posey did break. That's unfortunate. I don't know why Barksdale's skirmishers weren't sure what to do. They were, Yeah, Posey skirmishers fight on, even though the brigade itself is broken. But with Jackson's reinforcements, you really don't want to fight him, do you? With Jackson's reinforcements, things can get a little bit better. Looks like we're getting at least 2 batteries. It's all kind of that sea of red there. But the plan is going to be to reinforce this line, both this north pocket of woods here, the south pocket here. I don't think getting cute and flanking maneuvers is going to solve this. I mean, you can see these guys, they are pressing. And I think we need to reinforce that, but I'm not going to try to do too much before Jackson's army is fully on the screen. We're still not getting pressure from the north, so that's what makes this a lot easier to do. Are you guys still here? You've only taken 3 casualties, I guess. I can only complain so much. The problem is you're not in range of anything. And so I really like these guys. If you're just insisting on staying in the fight, fine. Stay in the fight somewhere else. Try to get them to turn. I'm going to go ahead and pause things here so that I can get these divisions into place. You don't need to watch. You don't want to watch all that stuff. So we'll do that, and once everybody's set up, we'll get back into the fight. Alright, so we have our orders. I haven't even detached skirmishers or anything from these guys. I don't want to send this to a route, so I'd rather pull them back. But basically, I've just took 3 of the divisions from Jackson's Corps and just moved them up to the center. So everybody's kind of rallying here at the center and trying to hold it. What are you doing, Posey? There you go. That seems to be the most important thing. I mean, if they break through here, and I don't think sending 1 or 2, well, they send 3 brigades at a time that time, so I guess that could do something. Is going to do it. Maybe, but I doubt it. But if they're not able to hit anything, I want them back in the woods to get cover from all this Union artillery. Good, Sims is over there. He's doing all right. Perhaps if the infantry gets in place and holds things off, we can get some skirmishers detached and continue doing the skirmish thing. I really do want to do that, but who are incoming. Alright, we'll see if the help gets here in time. It's really hard to say at this point. That's all I can say. How to pronounce that, but just have everybody move back and consolidate until we get reinforcements. Because we are spread a bit thin. That's the case over here. Looks like we still have 4 units of skirmishers harassing this flank, but there is... what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 6. Plus a few more brigades pushing right here through the center. brigade in mind. It's going to be rough for them. I wonder if the solution to that is to... I don't really want to withdraw them. At this point, we're just going to move further out of contact. I mean, if they want to push Kershaw's, that's fine. Who's running low on ammo? Wilcox. Wilcox. Huh. Well, they're going to have to keep shooting. There's not a whole lot else you can do at this point. It's not that late in the day that you can hope to get resupplied in the evening. Hopefully we can push skirmishers up. I really don't want them out here shooting these kind of tangential, peripheral units. It's just not important. What's important right now is that we get on those lead units and we hit them as they come. Jesus, I cannot get these guys back. Wofford. Well, at least you're shooting stuff, Wofford. Right's getting pounded. And for little good reason. Not able to shoot anybody. We're still cramming this center. I don't know if we're making them pay a price or not. Well, 3,000 versus 14,000 means the ratio has obviously shrunk. I mean, you can see the casualty, right? You don't need that explained. It's 3 to 1, but we're getting them there. The question is, even with that 3 to 1 ratio, they still have the numbers. They haven't lost much arty. They have the arty advantage. Whether they're just going to be able to pound some of that infantry in the field. It's going to be close. I don't know why Barksdale's dudes are running into the melee. They were never told to do that. It makes no sense. Kershaw's. Maybe we'll just pull Kershaw back if we can. I don't know if this was the detachment that was low on ammo. Maybe that was it. Yeah, I mean, Posies is too. For those units that haven't yet routed, what I found was a glitch on previous versions is that if you recalled them to the parent unit, they would, and then you switched back to skirmishing. So basically, you turn skirmishing off and turn it on again. They would come out with a fresh 60 rounds. Don't know how it happened. Didn't really ask. I don't know. Maybe conceivably they took it from others. What's this guy? I might have told him to go there. It might not be his fault. It certainly is stupid, though. It's Artillery Reserve. Heath's Brigade or Heth's Brigade. Well, we used to have 4 skirmishers. Actually, I think we used to have 5 or 6. But it looks like we're down to about 2. I'm going to move these guys back here so that when I recall them, they're not running through the infantry, the Union infantry. Yeah, it looks like they've maybe been recalled. Okay, you can still kind of hit some infantry. You can just barely hit some infantry out of it. I think the point is of keeping you there. Get you back into some thick cover, get you some distance. Seems as detachment can hit stuff. These boys have done well as they would be expected to. What on earth are you doing? Why are you going that way? I don't know. I do not know. Alright, Heth's brigade, though. It's Heath. Oh well. We're going to set them up there. That seems to be the group that is, or the area that's likely to fall first. Again, famous last words, but if they want to get us, let's make them cross the water. Let's try to get into some cover. Archer's brigade, yeah. Actually, I don't really need them there. I just need them there. Hill, I believe I gave orders to. Colston, they're acting like I didn't. Oh wait, no. They do. They do have orders to come up. Alright. That's good. Well, the good news, it looks like, is that somehow, someway, Kershaw's brigade fought off, looks like 4 other brigades. That is fantastic. They are rightfully confident. But, having lost about a quarter of their number, I'm not that eager to keep them out there. Jesus! Wolford's brigade here. Please pull back. Get into those woods. I've not looked up north here in a long time. I have no idea what's going on. Well, my skirmishers got wiped. So I have no idea what's going on up there. I have no way of knowing. We're gonna try to get on that. Send Lane's skirmishers up. Yeah, that's a nice artillery concave right there. Even if he has shots, though, I want to bring him back. Get him out of there. Sims' detachment, it's a detachment, so it is what it is. Let me get Het's guys, for whatever reason, don't seem to want to go over there. Well, I want them to go over there. Mahoney, I just don't want him sitting out in the open with that much artillery. Defending the center. We have Wilcox's 1500. We have Archer's new 1800. Let's get those guys on long range. Maybe I should move roads there as well. Walker's battalion doesn't need to be there. Walker's battalion can form up here. That's fine. Thomas's brigade might need them up here. I'm still not sure what's going on to the north, so I'm not sure how many troops I need to keep up here on this road. I don't know what this is about. I guess the commander is... It looks like it's Crutchfield? I mean, I'm tempted to set that artillery up here. But those look like some long shots. And so I'd rather have them close, because the Union seems to be concentrating their artillery. I mean, this is a terrible idea right here. I mean, if, you know, the attack in mass was okay until they all turned to go after Kershaw in the woods. But, yeah, sending this dude out, I mean, it's more than outflanked. They're gonna get roasted. I mean, that's just bad. Just sounded like a shell went through a window, broke some china or something. can see that it looks like it's mostly artillery, broken infantry, maybe one good artillery. It's really, really tempting for me to send this group down here in the south around and try to get some shots on that arty in the road. I really want to do it, but I've played enough battles to suspect that's kind of one of those psychological traps that people get themselves into. And it seems like it's going to be this great idea, but I can easily see it going wrong as well. Lane's brigade. Maybe we have enough to the north, maybe we don't. Still have Barksdale's detachment. Alright, so Lane is coming across some groups. Now maybe Barksdale can go up and join Lane. Maybe get Sems out of here as well. He's kind of in the middle of action he probably doesn't want to be a part of. It is only 3 o'clock in the afternoon on this battle, so it is not by any means over. I'm thinking I'm going to go through to the artillery, set them to counter battery, and then maybe pull out some more skirmishers from the units who have just arrived, or maybe from old units that have taken their skirmishers in. So I'm going to do that. See if we can't do something about it. I don't know what this movement is envisioning. You know, the logical choice is to probably press through. This is a nice open field. They could move the arty up to this water. They could have their infantry behind it, and they could just blast that flank. That would be a beautiful move on their part. I'm not sure why they seem to be hovering around this point here. So I think I'm going to make those changes, and I'll bring it back to you when there's something new to see. Alright, so we are back. I don't need to know that. I guess I did half of what I committed to do, which is pretty much par for the course for me. I did detach the skirmishers. I did not go around and reset all the arty to counter battery. They're on fire at will, and so I guess this is partially a test of their ability to do that, and to see if they switch between infantry and arty, and I'll just defer to them on what they think the right calls are. Okay, you need to face that way. Not sure why they're moving that way, but you can get set up there. Since we're largely facing arty, who we can't hit anyways, I'm thinking the move for these guys... Now, we can definitely fall back. And I may do that. But for now, I have them in the forest. And should be firing at long range. I can get them to kneel down. Or lay down, actually. So if they do that... the arties can still fire at them. It will still hit them, but it won't deal nearly the damage it was going to do before. Once they start bringing in infantry, that actually concerns me. Well, we can continue firing at them like that. It's just going to decrease the range a bit. But we could also have them stand up. If volume of fire and range are the issues, then we can address those. But in the interim, I'm going to wait for my artillery reinforcements to show up. If they want to start moving, they're already into the range of my infantry because they think they're going to get more lethal shots. They will get more lethal shots. but they're also gonna probably move into range of the muskets, and so given that and the amount of artillery that is now up. Okay, you're straight away. You can move here. We should be able to minimize our losses from there already, and we should be able to inflict a fair amount. If you didn't see, I don't know if I had it up when this was playing, at last glance, I mean, it's still about a 3-to-1 ratio. They have the overall advantage in aggregate numbers because they came in with more. We were down about 65,000. We've now closed the gap to about 13,000. It's the top line is showing a minor victory for the CSA. That seems, I guess, about right. Perhaps maybe understating a bit how far ahead I think we are on this, considering they have this huge force up here that is doing nothing. I think we're probably even a bit more ahead than that. I don't know where. I don't know. They're not broken. They're just very, very misdirected. Semmes' detachment. Hopefully we'll get them moving in the right direction. These... Oh, I never even noticed that these guys showed up. Okay, so we have some Cav and some Arty. This is under Stuart. The lesson I've learned from this game is never get too cute. You try to get cute, you're not as cute as you think, and you got to pay for it. So I'm not going to try to get cute and put them in the rear and just have them fire down. Put them in Chancellorsville and have them fire down the road. I'd like to do that, but I'm sure it'll run into problems I haven't yet thought of. So we have a significant skirmishing force. This is going to be 5 groups of 300, so we got 1,500 skirmishers up there if they're going to press that way. Otherwise, we're kind of just gathering up here, gathering our artillery. We got to get some of our infantry switched on to long range. Wasn't able to pull them all out of the reinforcements. I know the video's going long. It's not quite as simple as... Because there are no saves yet, there are no in-game saves. The only thing you can really save is in campaign, and it'll save every so many days. But you kind of got to either finish it, or you just gotta quit it. Even if you're not happy with where things end. I did want to play this a little bit longer, but if it continues kind of this one-sided 3-to-1 stuff, probably won't. This is Wolford's. They're unstable. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get them to fall back in time. My guess is probably not. They're probably going to... Yeah, they broke as soon as I did that. So there's probably a lesson there as well. And I guess this is part of the price you pay by not having these guys on counter battery. Okay, they should be on long range. Should turn to meet the attack. Okay, that's an HQ. This is Carter's battalion. They were going to deploy in the south anyways, so we might as well move them up, be a bit closer, get some flanking fire. pulling some more of this infantry back now that it seems like their artillery or their infantry advance has ended. Move Brown's battalion middle of the field here. Jones can go north. Yeah, it's Wolford. I don't know if he's going to be able to rally. Not exactly sure what the rally button does. I mean, I can read it, but I'm not sure. Commander will rally the unit. This will increase morale, but also increase order delays. Why wouldn't you choose that? I mean, it's not like my guys at this point need orders. I mean, it's fire at the thing in front of you that's trying to kill you. It's not something I typically use because I just haven't really cared to rally those units in the past, but it seems to make sense. I thought these guys were switched to counter battery. They are switched to counter battery, though I don't know that I'm actually choosing the battery they're countering. It's a detachment. I don't know what that is. It's a detachment. Alright. Move up there. Let's see if anything's changing. It looks like things have maybe trickled back in favor of the Union. Not totally. I can read the top line. It's still 3-1. Apologies for the visual effects. So now they've gone up to losing 85 guns. So now we should be pretty close in the number of artillery that both sides field. Mine is kind of concentrated here. Theirs is 2. Mine's not that more concentrated, but I would hope we're dealing some damage. I'm not sure what else there is to do. It's a little after 4 in the afternoon on this map. I'm not sure why they're facing that way in this sense. I can't get them to turn for the life of me. How about you, Archer? Will you turn? Yeah, a little bit. You did not take my earlier recommendation to switch your range. Wofford or Wolford has rallied. They're nervous. I'm just going to hold them back. There's no point in putting them near the line. There's no gap that absolutely has to be filled. So we're not going to push them to a position where they may have to break. Just get our skirmishers as our kind of screen here to push this left flank. Carter's up and firing, has a good overview of the field. I'm a little more central like that, and I'm pretty happy. Again, forces up here are just kind of watching this Union group do nothing. Anything new? Only got me up to 10% casualties, but I'm not sure I believe it all. Alright, if we can give them something... I don't know, maybe they need some cover. Maybe that one's... I mean, cover is great. I just figured that I use skirmishers to move so quickly that I'm kind of like, whatever. But cover makes a lot of sense. Okay, they're doing fine. What are these guys? 2nd Brigade. They're definitely worth shooting at. They're going to be right there. Detachment over here. Try to get some flanking fire on them. Can't tell, folks. I'm getting ready to end this because it doesn't really feel that close anymore. Feel free to tell me in the comments you think I'm wrong. It's perfectly natural, but it just, given what's happened so far, it doesn't feel like the Union's going to pull this one back. It's a little foolish to argue like how realistic is any of this because it's a video game, but the devs are definitely trying to make it realistic, and they've done a lot right in that direction. But it's a little hard for me to imagine that the Union would continue if they had any inkling that they were looking at 3-to-1 casualties and just horrific ones. I like that. The aggregate last return still makes it seem really close, and I'm not sure why that is. If you like to watch the battles, you know, we'll do that here. Watch the smoke. Union definitely pressed very hard at the beginning. Had me on the ropes. I've played, when I was testing this and some of the other ones before, I mean, if you try to get too cute and go too wide, they will just jam it right down the center, and they'll break those. There's the one battery here at the beginning. If you don't have infantry as well, they're just going to bust right through it. And then your reinforcements are going to be back here. You're going to have a force up here and a force down here, and you're just going to be in a bad way. I learned from that mistake. I will probably still try to get too cute in future battles. It's one of the many limitations here, but I learned from that mistake that I made previously. Please get turned in the right direction, please. And it's probably just better to play it a little boring, but get the result that you want rather than try to be really, really cool about it. Because it's a video game and you're probably not going to be that cool. So. Oh, maybe you are. I'm not. Yeah, it'd be nice to run up the score on these guys. Just cause. But I think we're trading somewhat evenly now. So, wait a minute. Wait a minute. This guy's actually doing something? Alright, I wanted to end it there. And I doubt you're still watching. But if you are, then you're hearing this. But these guys may, by these guys I mean this mix of cavalry and infantry, and it looks like one artillery brigade may actually have come out of their quasi-coma, and they may actually be pushing for something. So, if that is the case, it'll at least be interesting, if nothing else. Should be interesting. Fire right down that line there. But I guess if we've got them on 2-ish sides, they're probably not long for this game. Get O'Neill focused in on McLean. I think that attachment group Doles is anyways not too worried about that. Heths should be sent to the flank. from them by running away or anything, you can't. They're gonna follow you up. So you gotta find a way to deal with them. You can see that they're really putting a pounding on Garish's battalion. I'm gonna try to get more infantry pointed in that direction. Maybe get those guys off of here. If we can do that, it looks like we might also be able to get them on the north. We can see that we're starting to get this concave semicircle going here, and if that's the case, it's I mean, it's been over, I think, for a while. Maybe they had better ideas. So we'll see if we can get a. We'll see if giving them a ceasefire will lead them to withdraw. They're going to say it's a major victory, went from minor to major. I'm not going to resupply anybody. I'm not going to redeploy. We'll just see what happens. I'll press play. It appears to be day 2, and they're just doing not that much. I think whether the AI recognizes or not, they're whipped on this map. You know, less than 6,000 to 29,000 is a beating. I don't really know what the catalyst would be for turning things around, so I've already overindulged myself with your time if you have stayed as long to watch it. So I'm going to end it here. This was the first historical battle. I had a lot of fun playing it. Certainly a greater test on my end than some of the other battles, and hopefully we'll do another one like this in a future episode. Until then, everybody stay well.